Oh, there we are. All right.
Yeah, see us on YouTube. We good?
Yep.
All right, let's get going. So yeah, welcome guys to the next level session for today. We do these Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 4 p.m. East now. You can find all the replays in the next level members area if you're not a member, insiderealestate.com/next level, or the marketplace tab under coaching. Yesterday what we did was the first part and kind of the most meaty part of this, of building an open house list growth system. Basically, we built out a lead generation funnel, marketing funnel that offered a list of open houses. So we talked about why it was a cool niche, and we built out all our lead generation elements, and the ad went live. I'll just show the initial results. It hasn't been, I don't think it went live until this morning. And we have a small budget on this, so it's not going to move very quick. But so far, 2 leads at $4.81 a lead. So pretty good. I didn't check Google, but there may or may not be one there. We'll just I'll probably update you guys next week on that. But basically, if you follow what we did in yesterday's replay, which you can see in the members area and also on the YouTube channel, you should, in most markets around North America, expect a similar result. Just kind of follow it to the letter. Now, the next step and what we're going to do for part 2 is let's set up the automation and some of the manual stuff we're going to do to work these leads and turn them into conversations that lead to closings. So as always, guys, chat away with any questions or comments you might have. Again, I should be able to move through the content, the core meat content here in about 20 minutes, and then we'll have a lot of time for anything you want to discuss. Good, Annalisa?
Yep, we are rolling on YouTube, and I'm just about to drop it into the Facebook group. So thanks everyone who is here and listening.
Cool. So I'm going to go into the Smart CRM now in KV Core, and I should see these 2 leads popping up. And if I did everything right, they should have a hashtag with the open house list hashtag as we configured it yesterday. So just taking a minute to load up. And here we go. They kind of came in close to each other. Right down here, I can see them. And now that I have this hashtag and I know it's coming in okay, what I can do is actually, interesting enough, guys, sorry to cut off there, but it does look like one of these is tracking is coming off the Google ad. I can kind of see that organic website because I didn't have it checked. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build first my automated property alert to make sure once people opt in once to see the list, that they keep getting it automatically. And the place we're going to do that is under Lead Engine. No, it's not under Lead Engine, is it?
No. Hot, cold, hot. No, you're going to go into your marketing autopilot. Then you'll see your search alert button there on the top right.
Here it is, right here. I have made that mistake 100 times, every time.
It's okay. Well, you're going to get on 101. I feel it.
Yeah. So auto assign search alerts, and we're going to set up one for open houses. Now, I think yesterday I kind of played with this. So I'm just going to pretend I clicked the create alert button, but I'll go ahead and edit the existing one. And this is fairly straightforward. We simply choose the hashtag that we assign. So choose open house list. We choose our location. So in this case, I was doing the whole county. So I'll go ahead and type that in. Hopefully it loads up here for me. There we go. And then there's no other criteria around the open house. And it's interesting. See this, Annalisa? They have this is a little redundant. The open house alert, send alert when an open house matches this criteria. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to focus on setting the frequency. Yeah. And I'm probably going to do it twice weekly. So they'll get a list of anything that's hitting the MLS that's been tagged with open house and looks like it has an open house. Another thing I'll mention here, we always kind of forget, it's a little tip. You have the email CC there if you want to send your alerts to more than one person, right?
I really like that option a lot. It's a nice added service.
Yeah, you know what is cool? You can also CC yourself if you have somebody who you're really focused on, or you just want to keep tabs on a certain segment of the market. So that's all set up. Click update, and that's sort of the first. I meant to mention this to Ken today. It's driving me crazy.
I think your eye just popped out from like twitchy twitch, right?
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Sorry.
It's fun.
Oh man. Hopefully that worked. This isn't, as we said yesterday, guys, this is a bug with the admin side of things here. Oh my goodness. All right.
It's your favorite.
All right.
Oh boy, that was a good match.
All right. There we go. All right. Well, you guys get the point. I'm going to have to go redo that, but I have it set for St. Pete, but it's all otherwise set up okay. But that's the first kind of thing you're going to want to do to automate your follow-up. And really, this is probably the second most effective thing behind sending something cool manually every week. Just sending properties related to what they opted into. If you do this for every lead source, you're set up for pretty good success with KV Core. You can kind of expect that you'll have some people just reply back and ask you about specific properties, and they'll keep seeing your name connected to real estate. So, if there's anything you're doing right now from a lead source, you don't have property alerts set up, go do that. Okay.
Between those and market reports, it's a no-brainer. Get them both going, I'd say.
Definitely. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we'll set up, we want to make sure that we have a conversation starting campaign setup. And we've done lots of content around this. It's kind of our methodology where we have this short campaign that just kind of gets them to engage. So I'm going to create a really quick little one for this hook, this niche. I'm only going to have one or two communications in it. So I'm going to go into marketing, click on Smart Campaigns. And when I build my campaigns, I like to just build the templates first. That's kind of a good way to think about them. So I'm just going to build a quick email and a text message that goes out. And the idea here is that when somebody opts in through the Facebook lead ad in particular, I'm going to have their cell number and I want to send them a quick text. So I'm going to go to templates, add template, text template. I think I could just choose, I guess I'm building this out of Daly's account. Okay, so template name will be open house list initial reply. And my content's going to be hi. And then I can hit my little curly Q brackets there.
Curly bracket, yep.
Yep. And then it'll pop up my insert, my merge tags here. And I can do hi lead first name. Thanks for checking out the Pinellas open house list. Just now. Just curious. Are you actively looking for property? Something like that. And then I can do dash and I can do agent name if I want. So I'll do agent first name, agent, where did you go? Agent first name. So it'll say dash Delia or whoever. So click. So that was called open house list initial reply. Make sure you remember what you called your template. So when you add it to the campaign, we'll want
I started using my hashtag in my template. So if I was creating something specific, I'd be like hashtag 1, 2, 3, like, whatever the hashtag was. And then step 1, step 2, step 3, and it just kind of, it really helped me kind of keep it all together in a keyword search. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean like email 1 like that?
Yeah. I might be like, for naming the template, I might call it hashtag Pinellas, right? For whatever it is. And then I put like E1 for email 1 and then T2 for text 2. That way, as I'm building it, I can just look for those little visuals and it helps me create the guide.
I like it. So
yeah, so if you have a little tip that helps you like keep things in order, I would just say adopt it and use whatever visual works for you.
I like the idea of doing it like this, where the hashtag that you're using for the campaign goes in the template name. So yeah.
Yep. Because then it keeps it all cohesive and you can keyword search all your templates at the same time. And it just keeps it really right in front of you.
Very cool. Yeah. So Pinellas open house. Save this link. We'll say hi. In the emails, you can hit this little sun thing. Hi lead first name. Thanks for checking. Here's the direct link to the Pinellas list. Let me know if were there any on this list. How about this? Were there any on this list? And then we'll do again the agent first name. So again, this conversation start campaigns, we're not overthinking that first message. We're not vomiting on them with all our qualifications and everything else. And, we're just kind of trying to get them to just knee-jerk react out of politeness and just start talking to us. So here's the, and then what I'll do here is I'll do a direct link to the Pinellas open house list, just like this, right? And that link, I could go rebuild in the squeeze link like I did yesterday, but I'm just going to do test. And and this will redirect me there real quick.
Yeah.
So if you know your landing page. So basically I'm going to send them back here. I personally like sending people to the list view whenever I can.
Why list view over map?
The map, like, I don't know. It's just me.
Doesn't resonate with you. Okay, I get you.
Doesn't resonate. I'm not sure how it does on mobile. Just doesn't resonate. I could see. Yeah. I like, well, I'll tell you the reason. I mean, the real answer is I like the way that the list view lets me sort.
Oh, gotcha. You don't have to go to that sidebar and readjust it.
Yeah. So,
oh, Susan's like, map doesn't work on mobile. Did it knock you out again? No.
I don't know. Hopefully not. Let's see. Okay. So what I did here was here's the direct link, and I hyperlinked the anchor text. The text that's in the link is called the anchor text. So it's just, they can click on that. And maybe I'll go PS. The link above will always be up to date.
Is that the day 5 one in the conversation?
Oh yeah, in our main conversation starter, there is one that sends the open houses. Yes.
Yeah, you just have to edit it to add the link.
Yeah. We'll always be up to date with the latest open houses.
Yeah.
Feel free to bookmark, save this email.
Now, I will say this, as I've been doing setups, there's been some areas that do not have open houses yet, right? So I've been trying to think of different ways to send them the same type of properties that are a little different. Like here's ones that have a pool, here's ones that have an acre or more, to try to lead them to looking at different things, since we can't offer open houses on some of these.
Gotcha. Makes sense. That's within the conversation starter, but the conversation starter I'm building today is just a quick reply to when they just access the list.
Right.
So I'm gonna do is I'm adding a new campaign, and I'm going to say when the hashtag is open house list, I'll hit next. It's a buyer type. Open house list conversation starter. I'm going to turn off my always run, continue, and finish. And then open house. Turn status on. And now I can go in and add actions. I can add that text message.
Mm-hmm.
So we can view the template, make sure it's the right one. And I'll run this after like 3 minutes, just so it feels a little more organic. And then we'll add an email one, and that one, I'll use the hashtag trick there because that's what I used to name that one. Cool.
Nice.
And then we'll send that about the same time we send the text. And between these two, hopefully the goal is to try to get at least 20 or 30% of people to just reply back to either one of these. So we're in conversation. Now, the next thing I can do, this will be kind of a next level tip, but we could just leave the campaign here and then move this lead into another campaign automatically. So what I could do is I can say add a tag, transfer to nurture. And then I know that I've created a campaign called nurture that triggers based on this nurture that runs for a year. And I haven't checked with product, but I was trying to get that added to the dashboard. I haven't heard anything from them, but we'll try. You guys might remember a few weeks back, I was talking about this a lot, where we were using other people's content.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing in this short little conversation starter is I'm just going to run this, and it'll happen on day 2. Well, 2 days. So that's my whole campaign. It just engages around the open house list. And then I have this nurture campaign that will then take over as I transfer the tag over. So for context, that nurture campaign, it may not be in this account. I may have done it in mine, and I'm doing this out of a main office account. But let's see. Let's just see if it's in here. Gotta
Yeah, it's
remember
not.
what
I think it's in your other account.
yeah, it's in my other account. Let's see, can I do that? Oh yeah, maybe I can. I can just go
Should
over
be
to
able
mine.
to.
Yep.
You have the power.
Yeah, look at that. I just want to show you guys this for those people who haven't seen it. I was kind of proud of it, and I'm kind of excited to get it included for everybody to use, because what it does is it lasts a year, but it just keeps sending. A lot of it relies on sending other people's content. So you can see this Rich Dad video. Hi, I recently listened to this great episode of the Rich Dad podcast. Figured I'd share with you if you ever thought about investing in real estate. Here's a link to go watch and listen now. And the whole kind of campaign goes on like that. It's not only links to other people's stuff, but a lot of it is, and it's kind of a good example. So what I just did was people opt in for this open house thing list, and they get that, and they start getting my automated alerts because I've set those up. And then 7 days later, after my initial text and response, they then go into this generic pool, right? Because I transfer them by tag. And then the first email they'll get is this little tip about how to find motivated sellers by typing the word motivated into the keyword search on my site, and then it continues on. So
Good old educational piece using other people's education and your own.
yeah. So any questions about that?
No, Susan had a great suggestion for an alternate. If we don't have open houses available, use just listed.
Yeah. Yeah, you could easily do that, create a campaign around just listed. It works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now before we get into the really rounding out the campaign, I want to talk about what I think is the most powerful thing about any niche, the most powerful opportunity, and that is this idea of sending something cool weekly. You could send something cool every day, but trying to send content related to your niche that will engage further. And this one, as I said yesterday, just lends itself to easy content creation, because all you really need to do here, if you're the open house person, is once a week send an email with a featured open house or an invite to a specific open house you're doing, or just send a separate email that says, hey, here's this week's list of open houses. And I think if you want to do this in a way that will get you really good run for your money, run for your money. I don't know. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So one thing you could do, I'm bringing up my Screencast-O-Matic here, and what I could do is I could hit record. Right, I'll probably put my camera in the bottom so they get to see me.
Yeah.
Right? That up there. I hit record, and I could say, hey, Ryan here again with this week's list of open houses. There were a few that kind of jumped out at me as looking really interesting. This guy here in Dunedin at 513 Richmond is a really cool listing. And then, so from there, you could just talk about a few of the listings, show your expertise in the market. If there is an open house that you're familiar with, talk about it a little bit. And then that's the thing you would send. You can upload that into YouTube and embed it in a blog post on your KV Core site.
Yep.
Or you could actually do it if you have the Core Video Premium. I could have done that instead of using Screencast-O-Matic. I could have just done it straight in KV Core using their screencasting.
I mean, even use a video plus lead gen landing page or a video view to send them to the property. So that video can be used in a lot of places.
Yep. So yeah, that's what it will look like. So if you can record actual media, but it's very easy. You're just using the existing open house inventory and content, and then putting your own spin on it with a video, or even if you just don't want to do video and you just want to send an email and list out your top 3 open houses of the week, that could be your subject line, right? So you would go into our scheduled mass email. So I'll go into all marketing, scheduled mass emails. Right? Maybe you do this every Friday, you have a recurring appointment, you can have an assistant do this. And maybe you make yourself a template that you can use over and over. But in this case, I'll just do subject line, top 3 this week's top 3 Pinellas open houses. And you could just write an email talking about them, and then just schedule it to go out. I think maybe Saturday morning would be a good time for open houses, right? And just schedule it and say, I want this to go out on Saturday morning. So where is you see this? Oh, I see why. I couldn't find my AM, but that's because
it's a little different.
Well, I think because we hadn't, because I was trying to do it for today and AM's gone.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So
Sorry, I got to mute.
Yeah, it's gone. I lost my AM. All right. All right. All right. All right. So everybody following, we're not getting a lot of feedback today. So I'm just checking the chats here. Listing of the week and do it weekly every Friday. Yeah, something like that. All right, so send something cool. You've got your conversation starting campaign going out. You got your automated alerts. And before too long, these people coming in will start to feel like you're the open house resource for them, and you're sending cool real estate contact connected to your name. And what inevitably happens is their cousin needs to sell a house. They need to, buy an investment property, and you're the person they think of. That's the name of the game here, right? It's not necessarily about selling them these open houses. And they reach out. Now, if you want to go one step further, you can set up retargeting. So you can say, hey, anybody who's landing in this funnel, I'd like to show them ads on Google's display network or on Facebook and follow them all around the web. So that topic is a little bit involved. So what I'm going to do, we've done a number of sessions about those in the members area. If you check in the growth system section, if you check in the Google and Facebook sections of our tutorials, we show specifically how to do these campaigns. I know that in the waterfront growth system, I show exactly how I built this particular ad. And just to cover this for the content today, I'm just going to show you the results of our waterfront retargeting campaign. So basically this ad is showing it has been viewed 1,100 times at a rate of 42 cents each to people who have opened the form and checked out the waterfront homes list. And I will repeat the same process for the open house list. The ad looks like this. You can see the engagement ranking stuff. I did it pretty quick, but it was above average. So those people had already engaged with the ad one time. And what we're doing is we're following them back with pretty much the same ad and telling them to come back into the site. Now, if I wanted to really do retargeting at a higher level, I could take my open house weekly update video that I just mentioned, and I could put that in my retargeting campaign and let it run for a week and then change it out the next week. So they're seeing this video of me talking about open houses everywhere they look. Facebook, we can do the same thing on Google and YouTube too. So that's the retargeting campaign, and just gives you an idea by looking at the stats that, hey, we've generated, what is it? We've generated a couple hundred leads, 904 leads here, but we've also got 1,100 people to come back who might not have opted in the first time. And the retargeting ad, instead of going for the lead form, it just takes them straight to the landing page. So,
nice.
Yeah. So, you see, this always happens. The click to the landing page is so much cheaper when you're running it to a retargeted list.
Yeah. Well, it's more exact. It's not so much like, okay, we got to find people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the people who already were engaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think last week, hopefully it's in here. It's definitely in the next level members area, but I did a whole session about this idea of building your own audiences. Remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Oh, it's not in here. So you're gonna have to be a member to get that one, or I'll try to remember to put it in the playlist here. Okay.
And for those of you who are interested in learning these and grabbing these campaigns or checking them out, I just dropped a link into chat for Facebook, YouTube, and the group here. If you're new, you can access the Next Level group for free for 7 days to check everything out and take a look.
Sorry, the YouTube was playing over you there.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Sure.
It is actually here, and I'll drop this. So this will give you some context on kind of building your own audiences if you want to watch that, for those of you watching live.
Oh, it was in the Pond account one?
No, it's in the, where did it go? Disappeared.
Oh, I think 7 years now.
All right.
A good
Let
day.
me see. I'm getting confused because we're echoing. YouTube's auto playing Annalisa and I, guys. So if it seems a little weird, that's what's going on.
Nothing else weird is happening at all.
Nothing. Hey, I'm not wearing an Oleg mask. There's no legs.
I know. True. Thank you.
So here we go, guys. I'll drop this to everybody. I think it was a pretty good session just about retargeting in general, to get the idea. So as you can see, while, of course, I've done this many times, and while talking to you guys, that said, while talking to you guys over the last day or two, we've done about an hour and a half around this growth system of kind of walking you through it. And everything that's been done here, aside from sending the weekly thing, which is probably a nice little 15 to 30-minute task every week, everything else is automated and can just run for your business. And so I just want to invite you, if you can struggle through it, if it took me an hour and a half, maybe it'll take you 3-4 hours, half day, maybe if it takes you a whole day, something like this, whether it's the open house list, waterfront, new construction, something like this, I'm very confident could fuel your business for years to come, really. That just one ad with one good set of conversion elements around it could really serve you for a long time. So,
well, I mean, and with that scheduled mass email, you kind of sit down and map out your month or your quarter, like what's my quarterly focus on information for this group.
Yeah.
And just date them out and get them done, or have your assistant do that. And then if that's done, that's automated out the door. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. The best thing that could happen to you, though, I mean, that's so true, Annalisa. The best thing that can happen to you, though, is that you get addicted to sending something cool.
Oh, yeah. Actively involved is always best. Yes.
Yeah. So where it gets to the point where you wake up every day and the first thing you do is, what can I send people today related to real estate? You spend that block of time between 8 and 9 a.m., 9 and 10 a.m., whatever it is. And you say, what can I create? Is it this week's featured open houses? Is it a blog post? Do I do a screencast about some real estate news article that Forbes had? Something like that. Then it becomes a lot of fun when you do that too. But everything else, as I was saying, even if you don't do this, all the other pieces of this can be automated and just kind of run on autopilot. And it just becomes a game of improving your system and refining and optimizing and trying new ads. It can be a lot of fun. And if you're not very techy, definitely somebody else at your office, an admin, an assistant, give them access to this training content and just tell them to run with it. That's another way to approach it. Cool. So that's it for that, Annalisa. Hopefully, I expect the system will start generating some business here locally soon. Does anybody else who's watching the webinar right now, is there anything related to KV Core or building your real estate business that you'd like Annalisa and I to go into?
I don't see any questions pending, so I'm going to do your favorite thing here, and I'm going to unmute each person. So everyone, you're going to be unmuted. You'll have the ability to unmute and ask a question if you'd like. And just kind of tell us what you're up to. What are you focusing on? What's going on? So don't be afraid. Well, maybe I will ask Susan. Are you out there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Woohoo! Yes. So everyone, Susan, she is an amazing person in our product team. I've worked with her for a few years. Well, actually, it's been at least 5 years, maybe.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's gone so fast. But she's integral to getting information out to folks and working with product. And Susan, are there any favorite tools within KV Core that you kind of see these and you're like, gosh, people really need to know about this, right? I hope they're working on this and using this on a daily basis.
Do you want to talk about the new matching buyers filters?
Yes, that just launched, yesterday?
Well, there
Today?
was one that launched in the Smart CRM last week.
Okay.
And then the one that's now in listings just launched today.
Yeah, I think I mentioned the listings one last week and I was like, come on. It's really neat.
Yeah, if you go to listings and pull up any random listing there.
Yeah, I saw this morning when I was looking at a property, find buyers. So I was like, whoa.
What? Matching buyers, that little matching buyers button right there.
Yeah.
And new.
And that relies on people coming to the site, looking at properties. So they have to be kind of engaged and logged in, viewing properties so the system can learn what they're looking at to match them, right?
It's based on if they have a alert and the property matches to their system.
So the alert. Okay.
Yep. So if the alerts match up to this listing, then it's going to show. And
Awesome.
then you back and then reverse engineer it basically to see like those are the 2 leads there.
And can I send the listing to that lead? How do I add?
You can either mass email, you can check both of them and mass email it or mass text it if you're doing it from the matching buyers. So you no longer have to go and take that and then go search for the emails or whatever. You can just do it right there from the system.
Great. So I would just check this off and say mass text. I can say something like, hey, here's a listing I thought you might be interested in.
Exactly. Yeah, it might be something they haven't even looked at yet. or it could be something that was in their alerts and they have viewed it. Which you would be able to see view activity. You'd be able to see if they had seen it or not yet. You could compare the two.
Very cool. And then you said there was something we can do from the.
So that was on the listing. And if you go to, yes, that's on your listing. But if you go to Smart CRM, go to all contacts, and then go to your filters, excuse me, and then property interests. And now slide down a little bit. If we have an MLS ID or an address, I don't remember what you were just looking at.
Yeah, I'll just have this property right
There
here.
you go.
Yeah, so
Put
pop
ML
that in.
Yeah. And then select that and apply filters, and then we'll find everybody in the system who is interested in that listing.
Awesome.
And that's also based on their search alerts. So if that wasn't a result in their search alerts, then they're not going to show. But if they were, then they'll show up here.
That's really super cool.
Yeah, really neat. So is that's kind of reverse prospecting, right? Or
Exactly.
around a buyer. So definitely if you have a new listing, you're going to want to do that. I think we also have this baked into the playbook. Is that right?
Yeah, the matching buyers is.
The matching buyers is, but I want to say it's from the listing side. Yeah.
Yeah. So if in the listing playbook, if you have a new listing, you can either do it from the listing page, or you can go to this listing playbook and then look for all the people who might match.
The other update, if you go back to Smart CRM,
Yep.
Let's say that I remember I don't remember their name, but I remember that they live on Main Street or whatever it is. You can click inside there and search for an address now too.
Oh, that's awesome.
If I don't know their name, I can search for Main Street and it'll pull up everybody who lives on Main Street.
There's a lot of people cheering right now because that's a really great addition.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a street. Let's see. Our streets are like all numbers here. And does it need the whole address, or will it just search?
That's part of it.
Yeah. So you do need the address.
You need their address, and it's looking for either their primary address that you have completed on the details tab, or it's looking for the valuation address. Either one will work. So if their valuation address does not match their mailing address that you have in there, it's still going to find them.
Cool. So I guess this is everybody with a 44th related address. Yeah, that does
Or they might have
look
a
good.
44th somewhere. Well, not in their name, I guess, but yeah, they have some sort of 44th in there.
Great. Yeah, this is right. Because I did that because I knew I would be in here as an example. Yeah, it searched pretty well. Yep.
Yeah, it knows where you live.
Send cards and letters, everybody.
Thanks, Susan. And what's coming up? What are we working on?
You know, I don't like to talk about it too much because I don't know when the release date is coming, but sometime the next playbook we're working on is a Nurturing Your Sphere.
Oh, awesome.
So the next big playbook that'll be released is Sphere related.
Cool. Yeah, I think I showed that last week. Some of the designs out of turn. Yeah, but it's not even close. It was just a teaser, just a few slides.
Yeah, I don't have a release date. I don't even have a come back and bug me on this date to find out more. So, but I do know that that's the next big thing coming up. Yeah.
And we could share with this crowd, we've got an update coming to our text message TCPA stuff. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, just to explain like why we have to do this and stuff?
You want me to talk about that? So for those of you who don't know, the TCPA is the federal regulation that says you can be fined if you're texting and spamming or calling and spamming somebody that's on like the do not call list. And when that first came about, there was kind of a question as to whether it really applies or not. But it's gone to court enough times that yeah, text definitely does apply. So what we've done is on the very first message, it'll happen sometime before mid-June. The first text message, if somebody opts in and gives you email and their text number, the very first message they get is going to say, if you'd rather not communicate by text message, reply with unsubscribe. So we're hoping that wording, we worked on this for so long.
Yeah.
We're hoping that wording doesn't really encourage somebody to just send back stop. I mean, stop will work, but we're really hoping that 4 letters versus unsubscribe is a really long word. Maybe people will be like, yeah, it's okay, I'll let them keep texting me, versus stop is so easy to just send back. So hopefully it won't put the thought in there that, yeah, go ahead and send this back to them. But we really want to make sure that you're compliant and that you're not spamming people that don't want texts, that there's no way for them to misconstrue any of that. And yeah, Brian just highlighted it. $5,100 per violation. That's a lot.
Does it turn off the texting only? Does it like to
turns
say
off
no for the texting, or does it unsubscribe the whole works? I think it's an
turns off
important.
just the texting.
Woohoo!
So reply stop or unsubscribe or
Awesome.
whatever it is, then it just stops you from mass texting them. So
Right.
if you want to text just that one lead and say, hey, I noticed whatever it is that I really need to touch base with you, and you send it to them via text, you can manually still text that one person one at a time. You just aren't going to be able to use it for like a drip campaign or mass text them.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, you can just ask them, like, did you mean to unsubscribe? Are you not looking to move? Or you just don't like getting texts? It's a good thing to have a conversation around. And another important thing that I learned here, Susan, was that you can actually override our messaging when this launches by including your own stop words in the initial text message. So I think, Susan, you and the rest of the product team did a really good job of kind of like thinking through this and making it as flexible as possible so that everybody's compliant, but that it doesn't have any adverse effects on the business, on your business.
Forewarned is forearmed. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll be sending out a video about this soon, guys. Just kind of letting you know, since Susan was on, I figured we jump in. I'm not seeing any hate mail yet. Comments, Susan.
I haven't seen that. But then again, if it says just all panelists, I won't see it.
Yeah. Oh, no, there haven't been any questions or comments. There's something in regards to mass emails, if we're ready for another question.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Jay had a question. I seem to not have a whole lot of success on mass emails. It seems like sometimes the deliverability might go to spam. What are your thoughts? So I think our first question would be, Jay, if you're able to, if you could unsubscribe and tell us what you're sending in the context of what's being sent, then we might understand how we could craft it to help the message get out.
Sure. Yeah. So I think sometimes it's like ones I'm sending out to my sphere, and there might be a couple hundred people in it. And I just don't know. I'm in Canada. I don't know if it just gets sort of shut down, that it's too many going out and it just gets considered as spam.
Are you sending them out via the scheduled mass email if it's over 250, or are you doing?
Some are, and some are mass emails. I've played with both, and and it seems like they're all. And I guess with a lot of them, they're pretty good sphere. And so,
right.
Why they're all black? Nobody shows up as ever seeing them. And then I tried to do a bit of a referral Google form a couple of weeks ago to get people to fill it out, just to have sort of preferred vendors, and sort of same thing. Just a couple came back, and it's like, it's just weird.
So you're watching the activity for the stats?
Yeah, just not seeing it. Yeah. So like when I go, like, I guess maybe not watching the activity, but if I go to individual people just randomly, and it's like, yeah, they're all black emails. And so supposedly they're delivered, but I don't know. Nobody's seeing them.
Yeah, I would check out have you looked at the stats in that activity stream to see?
No. Where would I go?
So when you're looking, go ahead, Ryan. What were you going to say?
Yeah, you could show where.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're on your dashboard, and you're looking at your calls to do your tasks and all that, you've got your activity stream. And there is that little scope picker on that top left-hand side in there. And you can actually click into that drop down. And you can, that one there. And then you can go actually look at your email activity. You can look at your hot leads. You can look at new texts, new emails. But this will show you like the deliverability rate, who's opened what, have they open it clear, what time and all that. So this is where you can get some of that
Right, and that's
context.
different than if they show up as being like blue.
This is different
I
than what
clicked
you'll see
on,
on the
say,
timeline.
Yeah, like if I clicked on Kenyon, his would, or hers, I'm not sure. It'll show up as being, like, these are all black ones, right? So
Mhm.
they would be ones that haven't been opened, is that correct?
Actually, I wasn't even aware we were color coding it. Is that right, Susan?
I thought the open rates were only on that tab for now, but I may be incorrect.
It could be that we're color coding.
Yeah,
on
like
it.
over on the right-hand side, over by the word view,
Yeah.
they're normally blue, the little
Oh, the
envelope.
color, you mean the colors from before, right?
Well, just over on the right-hand side of the screen where it says that, yeah, that envelope there where the cursor is. It seems like the ones for me anyways they're blue if they get opened.
Oh,
Oh, I had never
might be an
noticed
Easter
that.
egg we didn't know about.
Yeah,
there's
and all
one.
the other ones are, yeah, there's one.
Yep.
So that one
Oh,
I think
I
has
see
been
what you're saying.
opened, but none of the other ones have been opened. And so I just, some of them I expect that nobody's going to open them, but or some people might, but not all. And then there's others I'm thinking, wow, I'm really surprised. So then I sort of think it didn't get out.
Could be. What's a lot could have to do with the subject line, the content. Are you using the HTML editor, or are you just sending a text?
Like a symbol-based email or one with pictures, links, embeds.
No,
and
they'd be
stuff.
pretty simple ones. I guess this one went out just last week with the Google form, but it was just a link that was in there.
Could you send me one? Maybe add me as a contact if you have time later. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's rhartman@insiderealestate.com.
Okay.
And I'll
Do you want me
apply.
to send you just an email or one that didn't go out?
Yeah, like if you have the example of that email,
Yeah,
you
okay.
can also just tell me your full, like the email you used to log into KB Core and the contact and an example contact name, and I could log in and look at it too.
Okay, cool.
But I'll take a look. Sometimes, and it is something. I mean, you could be right. Maybe it didn't trigger and get delivered, but it could also be something to do with just the email itself that the service providers don't like.
Yeah. So whether it's going out through a Gmail, but whether mine, if I have me in as a test, it comes in under conversion.
Yep.
As to who's sending it.
It's doing a send as, and sometimes that'll actually come up as a Gmail will do like a spam kind of message or something.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the conversion isn't really I don't know.
Well,
recognizable.
I would think that changing the profile to change the from address would make a difference there.
The issue with that is when you're sending yourself a text, it's spoofing the email from you to you. That's a unique on those tests. I don't know if you are bringing up a good point though, because if our mass email sends are still going out through that same system, could be an issue. You're highlighting something that may or may not be an issue, and I'll follow up on it.
It sounds like Susan's going. The support can help us get that checked too. And send
I want to talk to Ken, the product team, and just see if we should be able to look at that unique email and give you some feedback on what might have happened with it. At the system we use to send the emails.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep. Email's real tricky. It's like, especially
it's
when you're
trickier. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a battle against the Gmail, all the service providers, and then we're in a situation where we've got 100,000 or more agents, and we know that not everybody's a good citizen. It only takes one or two to really, mess things up. So it's a constant game of trying to keep up, change the platform and optimize it. So thanks for highlighting this.
And that's why I always try to stress if you're going to do anything over 100, I would always say do a scheduled mass email to a saved filter, a hashtag, or a status, because then they go out in groups, one big push instead of a blast like that 100.
Yeah, and another tip is, I know we love our advanced email editor and it does great HTML, pretty looking stuff. But if you suspect you're not getting a great open rate, maybe try mixing in just a simple text email in there. That doesn't have a lot of HTML just to get through the spam filters. So
because now we have to rely on everybody else and their spam filters and their privacy, which is constantly being upgraded for consumers.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is kind of what you saw me doing earlier with the templates is, hi, how you doing? That's like a simple text. Maybe you have one or two links in it. But if you go to the advanced editor, you get a lot of other stuff going on. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've
that's
never
what
tried
happened.
at this point. I've never tried the advanced one. So
Okay, so it is this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll take a look for sure.
cool. Thanks, Rob.
Well, anything else, guys? If not, we're good 45 in.
Yeah, I don't see any new questions that have come in on Facebook or YouTube or the chat group here. So I just appreciate everybody hanging out and having a good discussion.
Great. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll get this replay live. It's probably live on YouTube already. And we'll be back tomorrow. You know, we're going to have a guest on, hopefully. I haven't confirmed.
I'm
with her.
excited. I hope
Yeah.
it happens.
Yes. So we're going to have a friend of ours on. She does some very interesting stuff around creating monthly and weekly newsletters. She's actually a virtual assistant. You know, she has a little shop. But when I saw what she was doing, I thought it was really interesting. And she's going to come on and just talk about kind of how she goes about curating local content to send out for her clients, and then how she uses KV Core to get these messages out. So we'll be back tomorrow at 4 East with our guest.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jay and Susan, for chiming in. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And we'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.